What's going on, guys? A brief, informal, but very important video I got in store for you guys today. I'm going to talk about why you guys should really consider replacing or upgrading your cables on your Total Gym or Sliding Bench trainer, and specifically replacing them with Randy's products at huckproducts.com. I've talked about his wheels in the past. I often recommend, if you guys have one of these machines and you're serious, put a lot of heavy use, to definitely go ahead and upgrade to his wheels. This is nothing against Total Gym, and I should say I get no financial kickback. I'm not affiliated with Randy or huckproducts.com. This I just think is really valuable and important information to you guys who have these machines and want to use it, increase the longevity. And as I'll get into this video, if you guys are thinking of picking up a used one, this is probably one of the best things you should do. And probably if you get a new one, you should probably do this also as well. So just an informative video. Again, get no financial incentive from doing this. I will put Randy's links down below to his websites. If you guys aren't familiar with him, he puts great products out there, awesome customer service. Many of you guys have already used him. If you do go to talk to him though and go to the website, definitely tell him Mike says hi and that I sent you. That's always helpful and appreciated. So I'm going to this video why I think it's really important you guys should consider this. You guys are going to see me replace the cables on my Total Gym Fit. I'll talk about how the difference in that felt. You're also going to see my neighbor Mac make a return. We're going to see him replace his cables on his old Total Gym 1000 from a machine that I gave him that I got for $15 on Craigslist. I offered him a newer one, but he actually just wanted this one. So I said, okay, that's fine. He's kind of fixed it up. He actually replaced the wheels that were worn down with Total Gym's wheels. I told him maybe he should have gone with Randy's, but he got that off Amazon. Then he actually wore out the cable. He replaced the cable with something at the hardware store, and then that actually snapped on him. And in the meantime, he actually was using a rope because he wanted to keep getting his workouts in. But he said, hey, can you know that guy Randy you talked about? Can you order me a cable from him? Because he's really old school. He doesn't even have a computer. I said, yeah, I'll call him up and I'll see if Randy can actually even send us one, just making out a promotional video for his stuff. And Randy, as awesome as he is, did send us out a cable free of charge for Max Total Gym 1000. So you're going to see him kind of replace that here in a second. But also, Randy sent me a Total Gym Fit cable that I had for probably over a year. I just never replaced it. And you guys saw my updated video like 2 years in with my Total Gym Fit, and I just reminded myself just how beaten up and worn and frayed my cable was. It had all these kind of ridges and cracks in it. And Randy warned me early on that if you start to see kind of cracks in that plastic or that vinyl coating, that's kind of a sign to kind of really switch out the cables. Some of you guys told me in the past you've actually had cables kind of snap on you. And Randy boasts that his cables, I don't know, 25,000 plus cables he's shipped have never broken. The main point I want to wrap up before I kind of show you guys me just replacing them is that I've often said if you're going to pick up a used Total Gym where the market is really vast, you can get them essentially kind of dirt cheap. I always told people, you know, look at the cables, look at the wheels. But at this point, honestly, as long as you look at the glide board and it looks okay and the metalwork is okay, I would say inevitably just go ahead and replace the wheels and the cables because it's going to upgrade the experience. And that Total Gym that you got for a used price were probably better than a lot of the new Total Gyms that are out there. And I kind of hate to say this, but even if you were to pick up a new Total Gym model, whether it's like a high-end Fit or XLS, and even the lower-end models especially, because I've often said those wheels are not good, I would still suggest you go ahead and upgrade the cable. So at the end of the day, I kind of like necessarily saying this, and I'm not knocking Total Gym and their products and their integrity, but just judging off 2 years of using mine, seeing the cables splitting and fraying, putting a lot of heavy weight on the wheels, which are really not meant for that. Randy's wheels are stress testing and handle a lot more of that weight. It sounds like an open shut endorsement for Randy's products. Again, I'm not getting any financial kickback, but at this point, it's kind of just, if I was suggesting this starting over to anybody, I would say get any kind of Total Gym you want, whatever it is, whatever price point you want, check the integrity and everything else, etc., the glide board and all the features, but eventually you should upgrade the cables and upgrade those wheels if you're going to put through consistent heavy use. If you're not going to do that much heavy use and you're just going to kind of play it out and see how you like it, then yeah, it's probably not worth doing that initially. But considering that his cables and his wheels aren't that much of an investment, it's kind of a no-brainer to go ahead and definitely do that. All right, just a voiceover of me switching out my Total Gym Fit cables with Randy's cables. Here's Randy's cables with that nice kind of black nylon coating. Now again, Randy has a bunch of extra wires inside of his compared to Total Gym Fits, and you're going to see me when I take out the Total Gym Fit cables, which by the way, this whole process is very easy to switch out the cables. You just pull these pins out and replace them. On my 2-year update, and like I said before, there's a lot of cracking here. Doesn't mean that they're necessarily the wiring inside is bad, but according to Randy, according to a lot of you guys who had these things kind of break over time, these are early warning signs. Notice the not stainless steel kind of black part, or sorry, little metal part, connecting part, is kind of different compared to Randy's, which is stainless steel, so that's also something that's pretty cool. You're going to see here extra length too on Randy's cables, which I also like. I also like the black coloring for whatever that's worth. But once I threw this back on, you're just going to see me kind of attach them. It took, again, 2 seconds to kind of do that. And then once I kind of jumped on the Total Gym in a second, it was a big difference, which shouldn't be too surprising because this stuff is a nice nylon. Even if, regardless of the wiring integrity, which is obviously very important, the ride you're going to get without having cracks in the cable is a big difference. I didn't really notice it, but this thing just felt extra smooth. It was already smooth because I upgraded the wheels, but this is just going to feel great. So regardless of whatever Total Gym you get, just upgrading the cabling, aside from just safety, this will increase the longevity of a more smooth ride over a greater period of time. So this feels great. Also feel better, just feeling safer, because I was doing a lot of high risk stuff. These cables aren't going to snap. Now going on to Max here, I recorded it, and you're going to hear just the straight video recording here in a second with bad audio, but he had a Total Gym cable that wore out. He bought a wire from the, or a cable from the hardware store that snapped on him. He used rope for a temporary period of time before I got his. So here's him kind of putting in his cables right now in a Total Gym 1000.
Okay, this is the tool to take the old ones out. I already took it out before I was getting in there, but this is in there like that with the old cable going through. So you pull the cable out, then you take this tool and probably tap it out with a hammer or something and knock this insert out that holds the cable in the stirrup handle.
And you replaced you put one on, that one broke, and then you bought a new one, right?
Well, yeah, I made my own cable. I went up to Home Depot and got a cable, but it's just a cheap one. It didn't last long.
How long did that last?
Probably 2 months.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you notice anything before
No, because it had a plastic coating on it, and you couldn't tell, and it just broke.
Well, that's what Randy was telling me. He said when you start seeing cracks, then you should change it, because then you won't know inside.
Yeah, and I didn't notice it because it broke where it runs around this cable, so it gets a lot of bend every time you exercise, and that other cable just broke. The plastic wasn't broken, but the cable inside was broken. It was like a 7-strand wire. There's the old one. And that's how it broke, and you couldn't tell because it had a plastic liner around the outside of it. So there's only like 2 or 3 strands left, so it had been breaking for a while, but you can't tell with the plastic coating on it.
Well, what's the difference? Why is this any different then?
Because his has, what do you say, 9 strands? Or more than that. His has a lot more strands, and each strand is smaller wire, so it can stand a lot more bending.
Oh, okay.
So this one should never break again. So what you do is, what I did before is you stick this through the stirrup, then this opens in half, and it goes around that cable, and that keeps the end from pulling through the hole. And you just seat that back in there and pull it down snug, you know, like that. And that's it. Now,
Yeah.
Now I just run it through the shims, the pulleys, and put the other handle on the same way. Run that through the pulley there, down through that pulley, back up to this pulley, and through the handle.
Took you all of about 2 seconds.
Yeah, and then put this.
$15 Total Gym was good as new.
Yeah, good.
Probably better than it was.
Well, this is going to have a better cable than the original one.
Did you replace the wheels though? That's something.
Yeah, I replaced the wheels under the, what do you call it, the platform there, the cart.
You got that? Those are from Total Gym. Those aren't from Randy though, right?
No, those are just off the internet. Pull it down, done. Good as new. Better than new. Like, you can tell when you get a new cable in, this one runs a little more smoothly with the new cable than the other one. You don't notice it because it's a gradual process when it starts to go. But I was doing this and it broke and I went.
Well, even the other good thing is that, yeah, these are probably, whatever's on this, what is coating you think this is?
This is a nylon coating instead of plastic, so it takes.
So that alone, because not having the cracking, like mine, I was saying, when I'm pulling it, you can feel those ridges in the cracks. This probably, since it's not even going to crack.
Yeah,
premature.
They say, I don't think he's only had a couple of these break out of 35,000 of them or something. He sold it, something like that. There's thousands of them, and they rarely have a problem with them. So
That's great.
That's a lot better. Anyway, that's
awesome. All right.
2-minute job.